Hi guys, welcome. Soon you will have the ISOs available on your system, and the ISO is number 2021, March the 11th version. And at this point in time, all our ISOs it's possible to change the file system. Do you want to have a BTRFS system, or an XFS, or a JFS, or a riser, or standard X4? So if you don't save anything, if you don't click here, then it's just going to be X4. And then we run your Calamares installer. And the topic of the video is general knowledge of ArcoLinux, how to update, and we'll see it when we reboot. But in the meantime, I thought let's go over the motions again. That's the version we're using. Next, advice number 1, do not install anything from this. Anything at all, and see what you get. By that I mean, if you don't do anything, you get the Linux kernel from the ISO. If you click here, you're getting the new Linux kernel that's online. So let's just keep everything as is and see what happens, because that's one option. That's the second option. Do you need the drivers? If you don't know, just rely on the Linux kernels and let's let them give the graphical interface to you. If it's not working, you might reconsider, reinstall, and then you know, okay, I need AMD GPU, or for instance, I need Intel, or for the NVIDIA, I need Video Nouveau. Advice is, go through it and see what you get. So all the packages we can choose and download, it's a great selection of all the best possible applications out there. If you have suggestions that Eric, you're missing this one, that one, just tell us. We'll add it to the list, right? So lots and lots of things are quite interesting, but just go through the motions the first time around. Figure out what driver do you need, what kernel do you need. Sometimes you need the Linux LTS. Some distributions are now just making it 100% fixed. It's going to be a Zen kernel. So it's all about choices, and I don't want to limit choices. I want to give you choices, but then see if my advice works. If not, you reinstall with a driver or with a kernel and see what happens. Always with one, never Linux kernel and driver, just one, and see what happens. All right, Brussels. Here we are back in Brussels, Belgium. So lots of things to do. We have 4 options here. We have file system there. We can encrypt here. So we have 40 options to install our system. It's entirely up to you what you do. We will always say, guys, make it yourself easy. Install just one operating system per SSD or per hard disk, which is the most easiest way to do. And well, that's our advice. Next. Again, this video is all about later on updating, so I'm going to pause the video. And off we reboot. All right, done. So we made the jump to SDDM, hoping that less people have issues with the XF86 video Intel thing. That sometimes kicks in, not always, but sometimes. And if you switch then to SDDM, everything works, but with LightDM it crashes. So just some knowledge. But I hope with SDDM we'll have less issues. So updating, that's the topic of the video. Ctrl-T. How do we update? We type update. Oh, okay, we can make typos. This works too, because I always make typo. So the typo works too. So updating, and this is the reason why we're making the video, right? ArcoLinux tells to us, let's replace a word with another word. And I had to look like 4, 5, 10 seconds. What's the difference? The capital letters. US, capital. That's it. So they just changed the name. Will you say yes? Will you say no? Of course you will say yes. But then other things came in. So in the middle of the process of building our ISOs, this guy was replaced. Replace Python dbus with extra dbus Python. What's your reflex on ArcoLinux, ArcoLinux? Always say yes. Okay, yes. Python dbus common, change to that name. Okay, cool, no problem. Yes. And then we get this thing, and then people get stuck because the enter button is the capital N. You do not press enter. You say yes. Remove Python 2 dbus. Yes. Always yes. And then you're past the hurdle and you're all fine. And that's all I wanted to say in this video. And it will happen again and again and again with package updates. So have the reflex to say yes all the time, 1. And 2, if you can't, because of dependencies or stuff like that, you need to remove that particular package then. Sudo pacman -r and try to remove it. And there is the man pacman very good for. So Ctrl T. You do not need to go online, man pacman, and you read page down, page down, page down, page down, till you get to the remove part. Upgrade part, query part, remove part, right? Recursive, unneeded, cascade. All right, that's it for me. I mean, not much to tell, but it's an essential part, of course. When you install your new system, immediately you get all these problems. You get all these issues with, oh, what should I do? So basically, say yes. Cheers.